Great. Before that, just forget BAT now. Just remember YHD.com because Yihaodian in Chinese meaning number one store. So we are number one store. Okay. Before that, let me introduce a little bit to myself. My name is Chris. Before I joined to Yihaodian 4 years ago, I've been working for P&G for more than 10 years. And then worked for Coca-Cola Greater China for 5 years. So most of my career, that was in multinational company, and working in finance, working in procurement, in marketing. Then 4 years ago, I joined to Yihaodian. This company is a startup company. And first, I was the finance VP. Then in the past 4 years, I've been changed my role. I'm working in 10 different departments as the head of the 10 different departments of the function head. So that gives you some background about how dramatically change the e-commerce or mobile commerce that this kind of environment changes so dramatically. Every day I feel exciting because I have the passion to learn. I'm not saying I'm the expert, but I would say the 4 years grow very, very fast. Okay, so today I'm going to introduce the mobile commerce. It's a revolution, okay? Because if you talk about e-commerce to the traditional commerce, that's a revolution, right? But then now, when we talk mobile, it's another round of the revolution. The business landscape is changing. You can see there are several, three of the famous guys. One of like a Rupert Murdoch. He said this is going to be lifetime change, a lifetime experience, fundamental change for him. And another Gallup that start from this year, CMO, they're going to spend much more than CTO. So that later on, I'm going to explain why. For example, like Yihaodian is no longer just a sales channel, but also a media center. So you're not just selling your goods at Yihaodian, but also making your marketing investment here. Okay. When East met West, when China met France, that here I can tell you how fast grow and how big market now China e-commerce market. If you talk about importance to the overall economics, e-commerce percentage of the GDP in China is 3.2%. And if you look at US, it's only 1.6%. And we are double than them. And the most close one, the company is UK. By the way, I met Prince William the night right before I took off to the airport to Paris. And UK, they value a lot with the cooperation with China e-commerce company. I host the visit for Elizabeth, who is the Minister of the Environment and Food. And she told me that for her trip, if he can only name the one important thing, that is to deal with or work with the e-commerce company in China. So, UK, they pay much attention to the China e-commerce. And France, I noticed that it's 1.3%, and still there are some rooms. China now has become the biggest e-commerce market in the world. I took the leadership position start from 2013. At those year, 2013, when we talk about overall China e-commerce size, market size, which was 1.85 trillion RMB, and US was 1.6 trillion RMB. Okay, but every year we increase like like 500 or 400 billion RMB by the mark. When we talk about growth, annual growth, by US it's about 200 or 250 million. So I will also introduce ourselves because we are very, very new. This company is just 6-year-old, small boy. We grow our business, start from zero, start from scratch, and to reach 11.5 billion within 5 years. Okay, so, but this is not enough because we still have a very strong passion, and we want to keep grow the business very fast. We have ambition to grow this company from like 11.5 billion to 100 billion within 4 years, for next 4 years. You probably know these two companies because we talk about it a lot, Jingdong and Tmall. Both these two companies went to IPO last year, and like Ali, they have a very high market value. It has become like number 4 or number 6 or number 7, the biggest market value in US. Why I mentioned this too? Because the following slide is gonna give you some answer. Yihaodian has ranking as the most capable e-commerce market company in China. This is the research which is done by Kenta Retail. Okay, the biggest consumer insights company in the world. And if you look at this score, overall score, it was very close. 68.7, 67.7, 65.7. So only 1 to 2 scores, right? But you look at number 4, who is Amazon China, and their score is only 34. Okay, so they measure several, like 5 attributes. Talk about the strategy, operation capability, organization, everything. And finally, we have been, like evaluated as a number 3. This is another research, which is done by Olsen & C, who is the strategy consulting leading company. And Olsen & C, they keep monitoring all the e-commerce company as well as the traditional retailers in many, many years. So last year, in 2014, we've been recognized as the the top 3 overall grocery companies. This is not just for e-commerce. This including all the offline and the online. If you look at this, all the top 10, excluding Yihaodian, all the rest of those companies, they have a more than 20 years history, 30, 40, 50 years. And Yihaodian is the only e-commerce company in this top 10 list. And also, we are very young. We are only 6-year-old. They evaluate in several, basically they evaluate this based on 20 attributes. For example, the number 1 is value for money. The second one, whether they have, suitable products for myself, or quality, deliveries, everything. So finally, Yihaodian has been recognized as the top 3. And our score is very close with Artima and Ocean. You know this. So they are part of the Sun Art French group. Okay, so they are number 2. Walmart is number 1. But we increased our ranking from 2013 from number 5 to number 3. So you probably can ask me why Yihaodian, within just 6 years, you gain such a high reputation and such a high growth, fast growth. The secret is going to be this: we're not aiming to be biggest e-commerce company in China, but we aim to be the number 1, e-commerce company to provide the best customer satisfaction, which we think this is going to be like overall, like a advantage, which consisting of 5 pillars. The number 1 pillar is whether you have a rich selection, where they can find whatever the goods that Yihaodian you can provide. So we have a very diverse categories. Basically, you can find anything. For example, I can tell you, at Yihaodian, if you search import, you can find 300,000 SKUs of the import goods. So that can supply more than 10 different offline supermarkets. So we are selling a lot of French foods, French goods, and also we're selling a lot of, 3 weeks ago, right before Chinese New Year, I was invited by the Department of the Commerce of US. I did almost like 4 roadshows in San Francisco, in Los Angeles, in Dallas, and New York. And we met a lot of different companies, as well as some of the very top line, very high-end retailers, like Macy's, like Neiman Marcus. Because currently, that we have the cross-border e-commerce policy just launched 9 months ago, which is a great favor to international company. They go into China and with much lower costs. And also, it's going to be quite beneficial to Chinese consumers because they can pay low tax and pay very, very low VAT. So they're going to combine all those duty and tax into just one tax, which is most of the categories only 10%. So that's why we promote this. The second pillar is make sure that we are competitive, which means value for money. So we are offering like a 2 to 3% price lower than the traditional, groceries. Third one is the usability. So when you browse on our page, we're going to give you some intelligent recommendation. If you buy toothbrush, we're going to recommend you whether you should use this toothpaste. Or we have the big data. We understand that 2 months ago, you buy this toothbrush. It's time for you to replace with a new one. So this is our very intelligent, a recommendation system. The third one is we have to have a very fast delivery. Because e-commerce advantage is help you to save effort, save time, save money. So you don't need to carry on by yourself. You don't need to have a long queue, right? You just use your finger, place order within 1 minute or 10 seconds. You can do everything. So this is much, much convenient. And the customers in China require us to give them very fast delivery. Or you can say, to be precisely saying, that's on time, deliver on time. Okay? And also, the last but not least is you should have a very good customer relationship management, and also as well as the post-purchasing quality security. Then now it's a quiz time. I will ask you one question. Now, how long does it take for our Yihaodian picker to pick up 16.7 units? This is average, or like a 1 pack size. Okay, 1 order size. So basically, if you place order from Yihaodian, you probably order like you're gonna place 1 bottle of water, of 1 shampoo, or 1 snacks, or 1 milk, or a bottle of the Coca-Cola. So 16.7 units from our 1 million square feet of the warehouse. Guess how long does it take? Anyone?
By robots or by humans?
By human.
You want robots or you
It's a hybrid. Okay, okay. Yeah. Anyone? 30 seconds. Oh, okay. 5 minutes. 10, 3 hours. Wow, it's a quite wide range, right? From 30 seconds to 3 hours. Okay. But I can tell you, less than 80 seconds. Wow, yes. Yeah, we aim to beat that goal. You know, like in Yihaodian, in the past 5 years, we almost missed our target because we set very stretched targets. So, yeah, I will set this stretch target like 30 seconds. I hope that, you know, next year when I come to here, I can tell you the good story. The Yihaodian. So I've talked about the advantage of our supply chain. That probably can give you a little bit more background about why we are so strong at a supply chain. One of our co-founders, his name is Gang Yu, who is the doctor. He got his doctorate degree at Wharton School. Then he became a Chen professor at Texas University at Austin for more than 10 years. He set up his own companies to sell the aircraft like software management. Then he sold his company to Accenture. Then he joined Amazon as its global supply chain VP. Yes. So yeah, he is an expert, and now probably we can say we are one of the most advanced, you know, like e-commerce company, especially specialized in supply chain side. Then I can also share with you some of our customer profile. Yihaodian is quite different, you know, from what other companies you are hearing, like a BAT. Okay, for example, those customers at Yihaodian, they are more affluent. They got a very high education, and they are living. Most of those shoppers, they're living in urban areas. Then they have high, you know, income. If you talk about like ages, it's ranged from 19 to 40 years old. And if you talk about gender side, overall Chinese netizens, 52% they are male, 48% they are female. But at Yihaodian, 66% they are female. You know, I can tell you female is good. We love female because they really like, you know, when we talk about the e-commerce, when you shop at e-commerce company, it's not end of the shopping. Only when you use it, when you post your shopping experience, when you post your experience on the goods usage, then that closes the loops. So, you know, female, they will love to share their opinions and to their friends, to their family, and that helps us to promote Yihaodian. So we really love them. And in terms of income, we did a comparison versus overall netizens. We split that into 5 different tiers. Below than 2,000 RMB, monthly income per person, and 3,000 to 5,000, or the income, monthly income above than 5,000 RMB. Overall netizens, there are only 13.7%. They are at this. But at Yihaodian, most of those, 37.8% of the Yihaodian shoppers, they have monthly income more than 5,000 RMB. So they're much more affluent. So that can explain why Yihaodian has become the biggest of the import goods destination in China. So if you want to sell your French goods, the Yihaodian is your #1 first destination. Okay, give you some information about Yihaodian. As I said, we're no longer not only the sales channel, but also media center and also new customer recruiting center. In terms of traffic, we have a daily traffic more than 15 million. Meaning every day you have 15 million people visit your web page. So you're not just selling the goods. Because consumers, they're going to go to your website and looking for some information about your brand, about your products. And they're going to do some interaction with you. So that's a good destination for you to promote your brand and do your, build your brand's awareness and build your equity. In terms of SKU, we are selling more than 8 million different SKUs of products. So as I said, I give you some background information. Offline supermarket, they carry around 20,000 or 30,000 maximum. So we are selling, SKUs more than 300 different supermarkets. And we have the richest customers, more than 90 million. Okay, so that also quite huge. So I give you some background information about this. Then we will go back to mobile commerce. So this chart can explain why mobile now is so hot and so advanced in China. We compare 3 different channels. First one is PC. Second one is tablets. The third one is mobile phone. PC, you can see every year increased by 10%. Not that bad, but small, very small. You can see, around 30 million sets. But if you look at tablets, that has annual growth like 70%. But then look at mobile phone. 2011, less than 80, around 80 million sets. Then 175, 340. Last year is over than 400 million. So every year we have more than 400 million different sets of the smartphone. That enable, a Chinese consumers and to do the mobile commerce anytime, anywhere. So I would say if you talk about, if you don't have the chance to go to e-commerce, or you miss the chance to play e-commerce, no worry. It's the time. I think there is a shortcut. That's mobile commerce. Because now if most of Chinese consumer, when they get off the work, they barely not open. They don't, when they return back to the home, they don't open the PC. They just use tablets, can look at some news or look at videos, or they use mobile phone to do shoppings. And some of the farmers in the, rural areas, they also use mobile phone. I can tell you in China, we have 35 provinces, 1.3 billion population, and we have 2,600 counties. We have 35,000 of towns. We have 770,000 of the villages. But those villages, most of those, farmers or peoples, they don't have the PC, but they have smartphone. So I would say it's really a golden time for China. As I said, China has become the biggest e-commerce market in the world. However, we still think we still have a quite big potential, because when you talk about penetration rate in China, the online shopping is still around 50%. But developed country, more than 80%. So when we go deeper to towns, to villages, and also leverage the advantage of the mobile phone, then we believe that China will continue this kind of very fast growth in the coming 5 years. Then, okay, like a social media, 9 in 10 of them, they're active in social. So QQ, YouTube, WeChat, and 77%, they have the smartphone. So I'm gonna give you some six highlights about mobile. The first one, always connected. So they said, okay, my smartphone is my first touch the whole day, right? And also there is something exciting by checking that. So I can tell you, the farmer, there is one slogan. They said, okay, you can use your smartphone while you are doing your farmer work. Yes, that's a China Telecom's advertising. Okay. And mobile account for a very large portion of the online time. Like they use mobile phone as smartphone and tablets, anytime, anywhere. And we also asked them, do you regularly use the app? Yes, they said. Number one is WeChat. 87% of the people that are using WeChat. I encourage you to use WeChat. I understand Laura has installed WeChat, right? So we exchange some information. That's very, I would say, very user-friendly social networking, okay? And smartphone, what they are using this, we said, okay, in the fast-moving category, a lot of smartphone application has been installed and has been used. So what they do, normally they're gonna do some price comparison, they check on the information about this products, and also they check on the comments. So I'm saying that e-commerce is really change the way when you deal or interact with your consumers. If you go to the supermarket, actually the supermarket or retailers or brand, they don't know who you are. But if you go to e-commerce, they know you. So they know whether you like it, whether you drop it, whether you shift to the new brand. Okay, so then they can go back and to promote something and to regain you back. But previously, you don't have such this kind of one-on-one communication. So when you're suffering from your business decline, you don't know what's happening. But e-commerce can help you. So I'm saying e-commerce is not just sales channel, but for you build up branding and to have a consumer engagement, to do trial, and to do CRM. Those are, as I said, for example, like food beverage, they're 47%, they're checking the product information. We did our research, partner with Unilever and the Milbrand and the Kinta Retail. We are studying like the online advertising, and how big impact to the offline supermarket sales. And the research has shown that finally we said, okay, there are 17% of sales uplift. If the manufacturer or brand, they place the advertising on e-commerce company. Because, as I said, they're not just, by that, they're also searching for information about this product. They are looking at some comments. And shopping-related online activities. So, for example, like a purchase goods or services, smartphone and tablets, 44% looking for product information, and also download some of the coupons. Here I'm gonna give you some of those practice which we are doing. This is our app. If you download Yihaodian's app, For example, there are some programs. You can ask your friend to give you a coupon. Also, you can pass your coupon to your friends. So, for example, if you said, okay, there is a coupon, it's going to be valid within 1 week, and you're going to travel abroad. You don't have the chance to use it. So you said, hey, my friend, I really want to shift or transfer my coupon to you. Yes, we can use this. Or you can proactively to ask your friends to give you a coupon. Okay. This is another one. That's mobile kitchen, because we are very good at food and beverage. If they are making some good foods, and here are some recipes. So each of the recipe, you can buy that instantly online from Yihaodian. Then once you buy that, once you cook it, you can post that immediately and online and share through your social networking. So I mean, nowadays, it's not just yourself, making foods or some of those very delicious foods that by yourself, but also you're like broadcasting to the whole world. This is another one that we have some of the shopping history, so you can reload your shopping cart. So if you buy something, next time you have to reload your shopping cart, you just simply did some modification. You just add or get rid of some of the items. Just wait a minute, so you can complete your shopping. Very convenient. And also there is one function which we just launched. If you go to WeChat, like a social networking, you search like import milk or import food, then we're gonna have some of list of those products there. So you click the buying button. So it will redirect you and to Yihaodian, and you buy that instantly. Very convenient. So that combine the social networking with sales. Very convenient. And also we have the daily deal. Here is the new function which we just launched. That's in Beijing and Shanghai, those metro cities. If you place the order before 6 p.m., you can get your goods or package delivered the same day. Think about this. Before you get off your work, you realize that your home is running out of some vinegars, of some fresh food, of some eggs, right? So you just place the order. You use that maybe 30 seconds or 10 seconds, you can complete that. Then we'll ship that to you within 3 hours. So that's very convenient, very, I would say, cost efficient. Then here I'm gonna show you something that this is something that we've done. This is a virtual store. So you can scan the QR code, you scan it, you buy it. The whole shopping experience is so smoothly. As I said, just within seconds, you can complete that. So that's in subway, and the doors of the, subways. So when you are waiting for the subway, you use your mobile phone and scan the QR code, and you complete your shopping. And when you go back to your apartment, and you receive that from, from Yihaodian. Then I'm gonna play our video clips to you. 2 minutes.
Online shopping has become a major phenomenon in China. But when it comes to grocery shopping, people still prefer the traditional supermarkets. This is Carrefour, with 220 outlets at present and adding 20 more this year alone. Each store handles over 10,000 customers every day. Tesco and Metro are just as big. Competing against these multinationals is a local e-commerce company called Yihaodian, an online grocery service. Yihaodian means #1 store in English, and that's exactly what the founders want to be, the #1. To realize this dream, Yihaodian had to steal customers from the much bigger pie of brick-and-mortar shopping. So, on October the 15th, 2012, we opened 1,000 stores overnight in some of China's most strategic and iconic locations. And since we are an online grocery store, our supermarkets weren't made of brick and mortar, but of pixels and bytes. Measuring 40 by 40 meters each, they covered the equivalent of 1.6 million square meters of prime commercial real estate. We placed them conveniently on parking lots, business campuses, and near office buildings. In Beijing alone, there were 100 stores, even at Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City. In fact, we even built one right under Carrefour's nose. Our location-based augmented reality app helps people locate the nearest store. They can enter it like a regular supermarket, walk through the aisles, and choose from over 1,000 products. When they check out, purchases in their virtual basket are delivered straight to their home. Time-starved consumers liked this combination of traditional retailing experience and e-commerce. After all, there are no long lines at checkout and no trolleys with wonky wheels. News of our 1,000 store launch spread through PR, video, and word of mouth. And Yihaodian was thrilled by a staggering 17% increase in revenue over a 3-month period. So now when it comes to sales per square foot, we can truly say that we are Yihaodian.
Okay, so I hope that after this, always remember #1 store. Okay, Yihaodian. Next, thank you. You know, like mobile, they always talk about, O2O, online to offline. There is one function, that shake. We just create a Guinness record. And, these are some machine that if you shake your mobile phone, so we're going to give you one code through this machine. And if these 2 codes matched with each other, then this machine will automatically give you 1 bottle of the Coke, or we can give you 1 bottle of the milk. So it's so, I would say, user-friendly, also a lot of interaction. And in some of landmark at Shanghai and Beijing, people like it very much. So think about this, that if we can install this kind of machine at the Champs-Élysées, right, then that's going to be very fun, a lot of fun, right? So, as I said, Yihaodian, because of us high income, very intelligent, high educated shoppers, so we're connecting with the world. We want to source from, all the markets in the world and to find the best quality of the products. So finally, I'm going to give you this last slide. In March last year, we create a Guinness record because we thought it's going to take us 24 hours to create Guinness record, which means we're going to sell the biggest quantity of the import milk. And finally, it took us 53 minutes. So we sold 30 containers of the import milk on that day. And finally, we create that kind of Guinness record. But just within 2 months later, that in May, and we create that Guinness record again, we sold 100 containers of the import milk, or 2 million liters of the import milk, just within 52 minutes and 30 seconds. When consumers receive these goods, other than the import milk, they also receive 2 kinds of documents. One is the copy of the Guinness records, of the certificates. The second one is a thanks letter, which is co-signed by our 2 founders. Thank for the shopper that you and I and Yihaodian, partnered together and to create the Guinness records. So when they open the box, instantly, they will take picture. They will take the picture and post it online and show them, hey, my friends, I'm creating a Guinness record. So this kind of marketing innovation, we've done lots Last year, we will create more than 10 different kinds of the Guinness record. For example, we sell nuts. It's nuts. Within one day, we sold 30 tons of the nuts. And currently, we also create a lot of Guinness records. So we hold this kind of, like a brand equity for Guinness records. So this people, he's our chairman of the board, Dr. Gang, because he bet with us. He said, I bet you guys cannot make it because we cannot sell, we cannot handle 100 containers. But he failed. So that's why the punishment going to be, he need to kiss the cow. So that's a kiss of the century. So thank you very much. I think I can give you a very brief introduction. I hope I can partner with you and to promote your brand and also do a lot of the consumer engagements. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much. Laura's only allowing me one question, so I have to make it a really good one. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. You gave a very interesting comparison of the market share of the top players, Tmall and Yihaodian and JD.com, and you make a compelling case that you guys are players right there with Alibaba. But Alibaba's IPO has given them an enormous war chest of money for acquisition and for expansion. So what's your strategy at Yihaodian to compete with that going forward?
Okay, don't forget, like Walmart is our biggest investors. Walmart has annual sales more than 400 billion US dollars, who is the #1 biggest company in the world. But I'm not just saying that they have a deep pocket, but I'm saying that Yihaodian, as long as we can deliver the best customer service in China, then we will not lose the battle. Because we are quite focused in the like online grocery, and also now we expand to online shopping mall. However, if you compare with Yihaodian versus other like Tmall, I really need you to realize the differences. Tmall, they are providing a marketplace. Okay, I mean to the consumers. So their value chain is just half of them. They don't provide any delivery services. But Yihaodian, we give them the very good delivery services. Anyone can tell you, who can tell me the Alibaba, they can deliver the goods within 3 hours? No way, right? So when we talk about this, I think it's quite different. Ali, they are not, like a Tmall and Taobao, it's a C2C business. Tmall is B2C, but it's just half of the value chain. They don't deliver the goods by themselves. However, we really think supply chain is the key to finally compete in the e-commerce market. So that's why we spend a lot. We also build a very strong supply chain, and which we think ultimately we're going to win.
Well, they may not handle as much directly, but I think Tmall would say, and Alibaba would say, that they focus a lot on customer service as well.
Right.
But one complaint I hear a lot is from the retailers and the brands. Yeah. They complain that Tmall and Alibaba won't work with them well at all, that they don't think about the needs of the brand owner. And that's who's in this room. So I wonder, is that an opportunity that you guys see to maybe get some traction as well, to take in that space and work with the brands and make their life a little easier?
Exactly. So I fully agree with you. So that's why at Yihaodian, last year I set up a new department I call JVC, Joint Value Creation Department. So we partner with very strategic partners, very top companies. So we said Yihaodian, it's not just satisfying the consumers, but also it's a triangle, which means we have Yihaodian here, we have our suppliers, and we have consumers. All the three parties, I mean, they should work very closely, and also all of them going to be beneficial with, within this kind of cooperation. So we're not just sacrifice some of the interest of the supplier and to delight the consumer, but we're really looking forward to work very closely with the suppliers. Make sure suppliers making money and the consumer is getting happier.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That was
Thank
very
you.
interesting.
Thank you very much.
Okay.